I have woken up to a wonderful surprise. There is good news, and they want to make you the offer. Good morning, it's Monday, 7:01, and I'm in the office nice and early today. And before I start for the week, welcome to week 6. The Friday of last week's episode, I was very honest and shared that I was overworked and feeling a little bit burnt out, which is very true. Friday was a tough day and I was feeling pretty down. Saturday and Sunday I did no work on the business, completely logged out mentally. Can't tell you how much better I feel today. Feel refreshed, recharged, and I'm ready for this week. Today I'm really excited because we have our new starter officially joining the business. So it's Bailey's first day in the office and it's Bailey's first day in recruitment. Got to be honest, he's either picked a very, very, very good place to start his career or a very tough place. Outside of that, we've got loads going on today. We're going to be training Bailey, helping him get set up. I'm going to be taking him aside to set his targets and expectations and KPIs for year 1. We've got a number of new business meetings. I hope this is the week we bring in some new business for Kyle. I've got a podcast tomorrow with Hannah Williams. Very excited about that, the CEO of Alacrity Foundation. Have a board meeting in Pasture on Wednesday. Outside of that, we've got loads of training to show you guys as well. And of course, everyone's favorite, sales. May was the hardest month of the year for us. We still finished 50% over target. But the amount of meetings we had cancelled, the amount of projects that fell through. But it's June, 2nd of the month. I'm feeling good and I know this is going to be a better month. I know it. But for now, let's say hello to the boys. Any ideas, Carl, what I'm thinking of here? One of the things is win new business and like a hunter's mentality. Nothing is more important than winning new business. Transparency and honesty. Yeah, we're all very honest, arguably too honest to each other. If something's not going right, we say it. We make decisions quickly, we speak openly. Any idea why accountability is important, Bailey? A task is given to you, it's your responsibility to pull through. Everything is our fault, everything is within our control, right? So the accountability is really, really important for stuff that we're doing. Burnout is real. Yeah, you might not have worked at this pace before. It's relentless and it's every day.
We do a lot.
We do a lot and I expect a lot. Yeah. Kyle works his arse off and I respect him for that. It's going to be the same for you. Yeah. However, we're now agreed that we're on a unlimited holiday policy. And on that note, Kyle, you need to take some time off. Genuinely. Yeah, because you haven't had much time off in the last few months, have you? You need to take some time off. Because I was thinking about that on Friday. So just do some time off at the end of the month. Respect. Very, very true. Because no one's better than anyone in here. I'm not better than either of you two, and you're certainly not better than me in anything. Right? It's a level playing field. I personally think the best way to learn is quickly. So Kyle will often be on the receiving end of some challenging feedback on sales calls, won't you? Last week, prime example, because I watched a video back, when I said you were speaking too loud, I went out to get some food, come back, you were speaking so much quieter, and you booked a meeting. Yeah. But it's respectful, it's never degrading. And you have full authority to tell Kyle, why did you do that? That sounded good. Why did you do that? Didn't sound good. And you can tell me as well. Yeah. The last one is timekeeping. Yeah, there's nothing more important than people's times, right? If you've got a meeting externally, it starts at 1, we get there at 1:45. Before Kyle goes into training, startup traits. So we want to know what sort of traits you need to be displaying to be successful at a startup. Bailey's never worked in a startup before, yeah, or a 2-person startup. What traits either does he need to display in here, or if we were sending a software engineer out to a company, what traits do they need to have? So problem solving, try and solve the problem. Yeah. I'd rather you come to me and say, hey, I've just lost 10 grand for the business, but I've managed to get 8 back. Yeah. I don't know what to do on the last 2. Okay, you're an idiot, but thanks for being honest and well done on getting the 8 back. The most important trait ever in a startup recruitment company, right? Urgency. Yeah. If you get an opportunity, you jump at it. If you've got something to do, you do it quickly and you do it well. Yeah. No stalling.
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence with yourself, being aware that we have emotions as men, yeah? Sometimes the ones that we want to use aren't the best, like anger, like disappointment, like resentment, yeah? We all get those, they're natural, they're not the best, right? Kyle will come off a sales call sometimes and he will have a personal vendetta against that person. A personal vendetta. He's got a dartboard at home with the guy's face on it and the guy doesn't even know who he is. It's fine to have emotions, but it's even better to use the right ones at the right time. Probably the most important one. Desire to self-learn and desire to learn and self-learn. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse. If you're not getting better, you're getting worse because of human inflation. If you think a month goes by and you haven't done anything for the month, that's fine. Well, no, because 10 people around you have got better. So the levels have risen. You're either getting worse or you're getting better. Cool, take a picture. Nice. You ready?
So a lot of open questions. We'll start with this. I should have put that one up there. But if you start any of your questions with those, it's most likely to be open. What would be sort of a definition of a closed question?
Yes or no answer.
Exactly that. There is a time for closed questions, but when you're speaking to candidates, you need to keep the conversation very open and let them tell you as much information as possible so we can use that information moving forward. What else do you think's important?
80% listening, 20% talking.
Yeah, it's a good rule to stick by. Setting expectations. You never want to leave a candidate in the dark. You always want to make sure that the process for them is smooth as possible.
Yeah.
So if you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Because if you don't, they will lose respect for you. Just always remember to ask open questions and making sure that you're setting the expectations for the candidates towards the end of the call.
Right, we're here down in the Maltins. I've got a meeting at 11 o'clock with Bailey. Find out exactly what he wants to achieve personally and professionally this year. His first year of business for us. And more importantly, how we can help him, both of us, me and Kyle, achieve those goals. This is some time where me and Bailey can spend some time and make sure that he's happy with where he is. And he knows that he's got support to where he wants to get to. So let's see what he says. How's the training this morning?
Yeah, good. Insightful.
This document is going to be really, really helpful for me to see where you want to be pushed, what areas, and how far you want to be pushed.
Yeah.
What 3 areas do you want to improve in your personal life?
I think nutrition is very an on and off subject with me. Sleep as well. And then PMA, so positive mental attitude.
You are positive, but you think other people don't think you're positive.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm very, very, very hard on myself, and I know I am, and I always have been. I also want to feel proud in what I'm doing, but I feel like I can't do that if people think I'm kind of reserved and holding back.
We've got a lot of work to do there. There's a disconnect between who you think you are and who everyone else thinks you are.
Yeah, definitely.
So how hard do you want to be pushed in those 3 areas on the left?
Very hard.
Very hard?
Yeah, if I'm honest.
You know, we'll push you quite hard on this anyway because you need to learn all that stuff. But yeah, that PMA, get us on there twice. We'll focus on that over the next couple of weeks, yeah?
Okay.
End of the year, right? How much will you be really impressed if you've earned?
Be over the moon with 50.
What would you be disappointed with?
35.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anywhere between 35 and 50 you'd be happy with in the year one, and then 50 you'd be over the moon with.
Yeah.
And we're both aware on what extra training you need, particularly on PMA. Right, Kyle, give me a little review on your lunch. First time having bombers.
I had a jacket potato with some salad, the peri-peri chicken and the spicy sauce.
Out of 10, go on, be harsh.
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. It's outrageous. Outrageous.
Bailey, how's your lunch? You've given it a 9 out of 10 off cam. We need to see that on cam, and I need a review, please.
Yeah, 9 out of 10. It was really nice. I got a chicken salad box. It was just a bit spicy. Box, you can see, it was a good size. You had chicken salad. I would have preferred salad, chicken, salad, mixed up. But other than that, it was all good.
Bombers, if you're watching this, you've just been told by his first ever time coming how you need to position the salad. Kyle, what is the plan for this afternoon?
After last week, the connection rate on the BD calls was down significantly. We were looking across the week anywhere, I'd say on average about 4%, and that was on 360 dials a day. The connection rate seemed a lot higher. So jumping on to the BD, trying to book some meetings. We got 3 this week, which should be good. But hopefully get a few more either booked in for the later end of the week or even going into next week because we need some new pipeline.
Bailey, your afternoon's going to be pretty simple. What are you doing this afternoon?
Getting some outbound calls and learning.
Who are you calling?
Some of the people who had applied for a previous vacancy and seeing how they are currently going through interviews, how they're getting on with their recruitment process.
We're back upstairs in the office after a very, very nice lunch at Bombers. That's one of the best sandwich houses in Cardiff. I think it's an unwritten rule, well at least it's my unwritten rule, that you have to take any new starters for lunch on their first day. You would have seen their plans for this afternoon. Kyle's going to be doing lots of BD. Bailey's going to be doing lots of candidate work. Fair play, he's only 5 hours into his first day of recruitment. He's eager to carry on speaking to people. I love the confidence, love the ambition. For me, I'm probably going to be doing some BD. I'm definitely going to be doing some BD. And I'm also going to do some candidate work, checking on new starters and sending some invoices. Let's see who has the most productive afternoon. It's Kieran O'Connor. Yeah, we built out the engineering team. And coincidentally, we have a final stage interview tomorrow. So I think maybe 5, 6 people. What's the long-term plans? Are you looking to, is the dream to go out and raise money and maybe, scale the team even further? And I guess if there's anything you need in the meantime, maybe like some introductions or a bit of advice, you're more than welcome to reach out to me and we can keep in contact, and I'm happy to support the journey from afar.
Great. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. See ya.
Thank you.
Bye. How are you? You all good for this interview tomorrow afternoon? Are you involved? I think we've got 2 very good finalists. Well, I'll keep you up to date on that. And the only other reason for the call is I have this morning been accepted onto a networking event down in London, and I noticed that you were speaking. Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm looking forward to it as well, seeing you speak, seeing some other companies there. I'll be sure to say hello, and then any introductions will be very grateful. I'll see you there, but more importantly before that, let's see how this interview goes tomorrow. I'm sure we can move forward with one of them after that, and we'll see which one it is. I'm calling with an update. I guess this is the week where we find out if I do my biggest deal ever in recruitment. Sadly, it's not a good update, and they've decided not to make an offer on this occasion, not to you or not to anyone. The team have agreed there is no perfect candidate who's done very well in all interviews. So there's nothing specific to you, which I'm trying to get feedback for because you've invested a lot of time, but that's the answer. I'm sorry, man. It's been a pleasure to work with you. And if anything does come in, you'll be my first point of call if that's okay with you. Thanks, bye-bye. That was a very challenging call to the candidate who got to the 4th stage of an interview process last week with that silicon-based startup that I brought on. I may have to go back out to market, but I'm going to challenge quite hard to see if this is a realistic vacancy that we'll fill. So the dreams have been crushed and we're back to square one. I'm very good today, thank you. How are you? How are you 3 going to work out if it's the upper end or the lower end? Is that you bringing people in for interview, then speaking to them and just, assessing, or are you, planning to do that a different way? A final question for me then, what's it been like so far the last couple of weeks with the advert you posted on the website, the advert you posted on the Facebook? Has there been much attention? Give me a nudge, email, call, whenever you've come to a decision, and we can see if we can help out at that time, if that's all right with you. That's that head of technology role that was supposed to come through 2 weeks ago, then supposed to come through today, and it's still on pause. They're still trying to work out what angle they want to go down, and for now, that's not the agency route, but it will be soon. So it's the beginning of the month, and that is the time where me and Kyle usually set our goals for the month ahead. We've got Bailey, who's with us today, who's going to be doing his first ever goal setting from a business perspective. And we'll all be sharing them with each other after. We all hold each other accountable. No goals are secret in here, and we're all going to push each other this month to get better. Tell me your biggest personal and your biggest business goal that you've got for June.
So my biggest personal goal for June is probably get down to the 86 kilo mark. Biggest business goal for the month would be speak to at least 120 candidates this month. Really build the confidence up and grow within this market.
My biggest goals this month personally is to finish 2 ultras. I've got a 70k run this Saturday, which I'm really excited for. And I've also got a World's Toughest Mudder, which is going to be around 100Ks, and that's in 3 weeks' time. Professionally, I'm really starting to branch out and speak to more VC and private equity firms. So I want to speak to and meet 2 new VC firms this month.
I've been stalling on signing up for another race or some form of fitness event for quite some time now. Kieran's on to me. The goal for this month, or the biggest one personally, is to sign up to an event before the month is done. Business-wise, bring on a new client. That is going to be the biggest one for me.
Good, I won't keep you too long. Check to make sure you're feeling all good for the interview. Is there anything I can help out with last minute that you might need help on? I would dress today as if you were going to a business meeting, a slight notch up from casual. We had somebody who went down for a final stage in a suit, and that actually went against him. And I did tell him not to go down in a suit. So the decision's likely going to be tomorrow. Am I right to give you a call towards the end of the day, say like 4:30, 5, so we can share some feedback? All right, sounds good. Well, wish you best of luck. Good morning, how are you? So I wanted to just let you know what the plan is today. So the other final stage interviews today, they are in at 2 till 3, and then we'll have an answer tomorrow. Yeah, the wait is over. As soon as I get an answer, I'll be giving you a call. Have a good day, and I'll speak to you, if not later today, tomorrow, yeah? The time is 11:29, and I'm on the way to the best and most beautiful place in the whole of South Wales, Newport. Today we have a podcast. It's our only podcast of the week, and I will be interviewing Hannah Williams for 1 hour. Hannah Williams was the CFO of Tiny Rebel. Now she's the CEO of Alacrity Foundation, a great company within South Wales and across the world actually. There's been a couple of success stories here in South Wales from the Alacrity Foundation, so they do some great work. Alongside that, they put on a lot of networking events and they fly the flag for tech and entrepreneurship and really supporting younger people, so it's great. This morning you would have seen me do some candidate calls. We have a final stage interview today at 2 p.m. So one of those calls was to check in and make sure that candidate is good and set for their interview. And they were very good. They're all set. They had no extra questions. It's a bit different in the office now, but with a third person, I've got to set someone new up every day. I've got to do their day plans. I've got to set some goals with them. Full transparency, Bailey's goals today were speak to 15 candidates, pull 3 leads, connect with 20 people on LinkedIn, and we're doing call coaching tomorrow. Obviously, I have my new tonic. I am aware that I continually promote new tonic, and we're not affiliated or partnered. So, new tonic, hit me up, or I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop promoting it. The good news is we have picked up another vacancy, and there's going to be an onboarding call at 4 p.m. Ideally, we don't want to be picking up single vacancies here and there. We enjoy large projects where we can work and strategically hire and make multiple hires. This company I've worked with for 3 years. We've hired 2 people this year already, so we're quite happy to do it because we work exclusively. In an ideal world, we want projects which we can run, set up, and over deliver on. So after the podcast, this afternoon's content is going to be sales focused. That's me and Kyle, and then 4 p.m. to finish the day, we will be doing an onboarding call so you can see how we onboard a new vacancy. But for now, let's go see Hannah. Just gonna follow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just gonna go with it.
Yeah, I bought some gifts by the way because we've got a new podcast sponsor. So this is the bottle for you.
That's so lovely.
If you want to keep it on the desk, and electrolytes. I'm not sure if you are an electrolyte person. Great for in the morning, like
I need to be after
rehydration,
training.
health kick. So there's like no bad ingredients in there. I think there's maybe like less than 5 ingredients in total.
Oh, my kids would love
Beware,
these.
they are addictive in a good way though. I
Are
have
they?
one every single morning now.
Do you?
Yeah, every single morning. I can't start
Make a
the day without it.
difference?
Yes, massively. It's Kieran O'Connor here, calling from a company called Place. We're part of the FinTech Wales programme here in South Wales, and I'm very aware that you recently joined. I was curious to know if you might have any planned recruitment in the AI and software space within the team. Ah, that's interesting. That's a good timing. What's the plan with that in terms of like finding the right person? Have you got a process you're going to follow? Sure, I'll just send you a connection request then. I can send you a few bits of information about us as well. I'll also send you a few examples of the companies we've worked with as well. That might be helpful for you to know that we work with companies of your size as well. Sounds good. I'll send it across now. See ya. Bye. Hello, my name is Kieran O'Connor, calling from a company called Place over in Cardiff. A bit of a call out of the blue. I bumped into your CFO over coffee a couple of weeks back. He did mention some technical recruitment. My curiosity got the better of me. I own an agency. I'm very curious to know if those vacancies that you had have been filled or if you may be having some challenges. So it'd be something a permanent CTO, you'd maybe even consider a contract or something fractional as well, yeah? Chances of us having anything in the immediate, like next few weeks or months, probably slim, but we may do. And do you want me to give you a call back if and when we do? Yeah, couldn't agree more. All right, it's been really, really good to chat. I've already sent you that email, by the way, and I'll speak to you very soon. Thanks. How are you? Good stuff. Well, I appreciate you making the time today. We've helped out on 2 vacancies this year. Our main goal is to always find the right person within 14 days. Your role, like what do you do in a few minutes, and then we can go into the vacancy. I'll ask a couple of open questions, then a few specific ones, and make sure we're on the same page about what we're expecting. What about like the team size? So you'll be working closely with you, yeah, reporting into you, I imagine. Is there anyone else they'd be interacting with on a daily basis? Okay, so someone who's a good communicator and is happy to speak to these people as well, and then understand data as well. Yeah, okay. By the sounds of it, you're happy to work through the interview process as soon as we find some right people? Yeah, we'll do a little bit in the background just to see what it's like, the general appetite. And then, yeah, we should me and you speak next week, I imagine. Would that be the earliest update? I will speak to you in a week or 2. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. It's Wednesday, and I have woken up to a wonderful surprise. This, a nice flat tyre on the car this morning. I had to drive to the Asda. The machine was broke, had to drive to Morrison's, managed to get it pumped up, and I've got to take it to the garage again. Yesterday was pretty busy in the afternoon when I got back. I didn't have time to recap on the afternoon. You would have seen me on board a new vacancy. I asked him a very challenging question. It turns out he's not sure if he's got approval from HR. So That one is going to be coming on, but that's likely going to be a week or two. This is a common theme at the minute with, companies not being able to commit to a process fully. So we're asking some pretty tough questions, and it turns out we need to hold off for a week. Outside of that, we received an offer yesterday. It was for the candidate that I believe was most suited to the vacancy as well. I got a call late in the evening, about 6 o'clock, from the CEO, and they just may be looking at offering 2 candidates, so both for the final stages, but we won't find out till that on Thursday. And there's also going to be 2 more software engineering roles in the next couple of weeks. So I'm going to get upstairs, set up for the day, and tell you what we got on for today. Wednesday is the busiest day of the week by far. The key highlights are 9:30 a.m. we have a very important business meeting. So Kyle has met a CTO of a startup twice, and both times they met, the investment wasn't quite there, but it's now there. So he's invited his CEO onto the call. Kyle's invited me onto the call. Get the big dogs on the call. And we're going to be talking through recruitment and if we're the right people to help. We've seen them post 2 vacancies already, so we're fully expecting to be in a position to negotiate and pitch our services and show that we are the best people to help scale their business. In between there, I will be delivering an offer. So that should be our first offer of the month, and it's the 4th of the month. So that will put us in a positive mind frame for the rest of the month with several other opportunities to come in. 11 a.m, I am meeting an investment manager. We've now joined someone new, so we're going to see how they've settled in, if there's any long-term or short-term business opportunities that we can collaborate on, and more importantly, just strengthen that relationship. That's in the city centre. After that's finished, I'm walking straight to Pasture. We have our first ever official board meeting with me, Adrian and Mark, and I thought, why not do it in Pasture? So we're going to be talking through absolutely everything, but the most important thing we're going to be talking through is next week, because I am going to London Tech Week. Not only am I going to London Tech Week, but I have 3 networking events, and 2 of those have been invite only, and I've been invited to. One I actually invited myself, and they said yes. And we're going to be talking about who's going, who do they know, who should I be speaking to, and if there's any introductions they can make before I go to make it worthwhile. I'm also going to try and visit 2 or 3 clients as well. So that's exciting. After that, we are coming straight back, and I'll probably have 30 minutes in between, and we've got a meeting with a CEO of a company who Mark knows. We're going to be talking about onboarding a people analytics platform, which I am so excited about. I can't wait to go into more detail about that. But we're also going to be talking about when they are looking to scale their business, how they're going to do it, and if we might be able to help. Today's going to be a productive day, and I am very much looking forward to it. Good morning. That was a very quick answer. I had an email yesterday, and then had a call this morning to go over a few things. There is good news, and they want to make you the offer. That's all right, you can swear. I can tell how happy you are with that. And this is what I thought from the very beginning, you are exactly what they need. And so, they're officially moving forward with you and making you an offer. Happy, man? I'm pretty sure you're happy to accept straight away. Cool. So hopefully I've made your day this morning. Nice. That's good news, man. I won't have an update on that today, but the next time I'll speak to you tomorrow, and we can move forward, yeah? We're 15 minutes out from Kyle's very important meeting this morning. We're going to go have some last minute prep together. But first, Kyle will tell you how this meeting came about and who we're meeting, whilst keeping it confidential.
So, like all my meetings, the best ones always come from cold calling. This particular client actually tried to hang up on me originally, because he gets lots of phone calls from recruiters trying to pitch him services quite frequently, but we managed to have a good conversation for about 7 minutes, which resulted into 2 meetings. We had the first one, and then it was a follow-up, and now we're being introduced to the CEO to discuss 3 potential roles that we could assist with, as they're currently going through a round of investment.
Sounds good. Sounds like a very important meeting, and we have a structure for our meetings, which you would have seen up until now. So we don't need to go through that again, but to recap, Carl's going to be doing the meeting opener framework, right? We're going to set the expectations. And the most important thing to set expectations for on this call is, at the end of the call, are we moving forward or are we not? Because we're so close, we've spoken to this company 3 times. We need to know and they need to know. But it's really important from 5 to 7 minutes in to about 20 past that we ask some very good questions, so we get the right information before we sell our services. So Kyle's going to be put on the spot here and is going to tell us 1 or 2 questions that he's written down already, and then we're going to go over the last few off camera before the meeting starts.
The first one goes, Joe, I've done a lot of research this morning, but in your own words, can you tell me what company does and who you serve?
That's a good question. Why is it important to ask that?
Because everyone digests information slightly differently, and to get the best picture and understanding of someone's business, it's better for them to tell you, because it's going to be the thing that they're most passionate about, and realistically they're going to know more about their business.
Well, that's a good answer. And to summarise that, lots of us will go into a call trying to know everything we possibly can about our business. It's a good idea to have an understanding of what they do, why they do it, and what problems they solve. However, when we're meeting a CEO, which we spoke about earlier, there's only one thing he cares about, and that's probably themselves and their company. So there's no better way to find out what their company does than asking them. It's best to ask them, because when we go to sell the role and the opportunity to candidates in the market, we can relay the explanation from the CEO.
So my second question is, I think we can all agree that working at a startup isn't for everyone. What kind of people thrive at your company, both technical and soft skills wise?
It's a very good question, and I like that one because soft skills are very important. We both agree on that. At a startup, you can't hide, and everything you do moves the needle on a daily basis. So it's really important that you can communicate that, and you're also willing to wear multiple hats and get involved in different areas of the business. So we're very kind people, but we're not going to give all of our questions away. So we're going over the last few now before the meeting, and Kyle's going to be showing you his killer meeting opening and hopefully how he wins business.
Good morning. So before we get into it, is there anything specific that you guys would like to get out of today's call? I have been in recruitment for coming up 5 years, and I've focused on helping companies build out sort of their commercial teams through sort of sales, marketing. Where do you think this is going to come into play with how it changes the financial institution in the next sort of coming years? We like to set expectations and deadlines, just so you guys can expect how many CVs you're going to receive, but we'll also like to provide you with sort of like weekly updates, midweek and at end of week, so you actually know what's going on. We won't submit CVs just for the sake of it. We're only going to submit people to you who are actually worth your time. Since obviously our initial conversation, we've actually released 3 products in terms of services, which I can send across to you. We have contingent, retained, or if you ever do go through like a scale up sort of phase, we offer a new product that we call RAS, is Recruitment as a Service. Does that sound something that you're happy for me to send across to you today? Okay, perfect. Well, gents, it was a pleasure meeting with you both. You guys take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Take care, bye-bye.
Do you know what? What an exceptional call from Kyle that was. I told him to his face, but I'm telling everyone on video, that was Kyle's best meeting that he's handled yet. He seems to think that the meeting framework could have gone better, but the whole call was very, very good. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. That's very good, by the way. No one's ever going to be a 10. And I said the one point that he was missing was the killer close. He's sending out the terms of business now, and that is going to be a very exciting role for someone to come in and own the marketing function from scratch, literally build it up, first hire. It's going to be such a great role for Kyle. So I'm on the way into the city centre now. I'm not going to be able to get any content, but I've got a meeting with an investment manager in 15 minutes. I also have a lunch at Pasture for an hour and a half with the board. But the next time you'll see me, I will be full from steak and chips. Just finished coffee. I am feeling very caffeinated and on the way to my very first ever board meeting, and why wouldn't I do it in Pasture? Wait a minute. I know what you're thinking. Kieran, it's Wednesday afternoon, and we come to see Call Coaching at this time on a Wednesday every single episode, and that would be correct. However, today has been one of those unpredictable days where not only have I had back-to-back meetings and some of those overrun, particularly the lunch, but I also woke up with a flat tire, and that has added some complexities to the day. So I've had to move Call Coaching from this afternoon to tomorrow afternoon. I'm really looking forward to that. I am back home at the headquarters, and I've got a number of things to do, including speaking to a few candidates and going through my emails. A quick check will see a new vacancy, which I'm going to go into more detail tomorrow. This was with a client that we've worked with and ran a retained project maybe a month or two ago and had very, very good results, which I'll share tomorrow. But to recap this afternoon, you would have seen me, Mark and Adrian at Pasture. This was our first ever board meeting. We spent 2 hours talking through a number of things like business performance of last month and what's expected of us in the month coming, June. We also spoke about strategic partnerships, how they might look, and there's one in particular which is going to be announced very, very soon, so keep your eyes peeled. And the last thing was my trip to London next week. I am going to 3 events. 2 of those are invite only, and Adrian and Mark know a number of people there. So we were positioning how I could introduce myself to them, if it was going to be a warm introduction, if they needed to do anything, or if I'm going in cold and doing what I do best and building relationships with people. So that was really exciting. I then had to drop the car to the garage. I then had to get a courtesy car and get back to my 3 o'clock meeting, and I made it with 4 minutes to spare. That hour and 20-minute meeting was very productive with the CEO of a company. They're going for a fundraiser at the minute to scale the team, particularly start a new sales team and hire some techies to continually scale the product at a larger scale. And that took me up to about 4:30. I've had to go up to the team, let them know about Cool Coaching, get home, and here I am. So I need to get to work, and I will see you in the morning so we can talk about Kyle's very good day yesterday, Bailey's very good day yesterday, and the new vacancy that we are going to onboard. So I'll see you in the morning. Right, the time is 8:40. We're going to be setting up Bailey for the day, be doing a day plan. But first, I want to review what happened yesterday. So we set some goals for Bailey. Bailey's going to tell us and you exactly what he did and if he hit them. So give us a rundown of what goals we set and what you achieved.
So the first one was to speak to 22 candidates. I ended up speaking to 27. And then it was to get 10 leads. I ended up getting 10 on the dot.
So a successful day.
Indeed.
And you overachieved on most of them. On the leads, you hit the targets. That's good. What we're doing is habit stacking. So on day 1, you were just doing candidate calls, right? Day 2, you were doing candidate calls and lead pulling. Day 3, you were doing candidate calls, lead pulling, and adding companies to the system. So today we're going to add something on top as well. So how many candidate calls do you think you can get through today?
25.
So that's the goal for today, 25 candidate calls. The second one will be leads as well. How many leads do you think you can get through today?
We go 12.
Ambitious man. 12 leads today. We're also going to be adding companies to the system because this morning, just on the board, we have done ICP training. So we've been working out what our ideal customer profile is, and Bailey's got a very good idea now. So yesterday, he added 5 companies. Today is going to be 5 companies in our ICP, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And the last thing that I am going to be targeting you on today, have an understanding of the different software programming languages and frameworks. By the end of the day, before call coaching, which we've got later today, I want you to explain to me what languages you've heard of and where they're used in the tech stack. There is frameworks as well, so if you want to write down frameworks. So on top of your candidate calls, on top of you pulling leads, on top of adding companies to the system, we're now adding different languages and frameworks to the tech stack. Right, does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan.
All right, cool. And we've got call coaching later today, your first ever time doing call coaching. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Let's get after it. All right, Kyle, that sounds like a really good day plan. I know you had a few wins yesterday as well with 2 different companies. I was on one of the meetings. It was very, very good. And the second one, I wasn't available. But I think you've got some news to share. So, talk us through what happened.
Yes, yesterday was a really good day. We had one meeting which was booked over a week ago with a company that we've had 3 meetings with now. We met with the CEO and the CTO. That went very, very well. We sent them terms. They seemed happy with everything, so hopefully we'll get them back today and we'll be able to help them out with a lead role that they're currently recruiting for. And then last minute, I had a prospect reach out to me who we spoke to going back in March, telling me that he had 2 junior roles for software developers, and we booked a last minute meeting, which also went very, very well, and we're just waiting for the terms to come back to us now.
Those 2 meetings sound productive yesterday, mate, so well done. Sending 2 terms of business out on one day is always a good thing. We hope both of those will come back today. Even if one comes back, that's some good pipeline for us. Coming off the back of a challenging month last month for pipeline and revenue. Both of those drop. And the 2 that I've onboarded today, come in. We should be on track for a very good month. What are the average expected fees for both of these vacancies?
So for the first role, the lead position, the salary is advertised at 70,000. We've pitched 20%, so the workings out on that would be roughly 14,000. For the 2 junior software developers, they're looking to pay 30,000 to 35. Hopefully we'll be able to help them out and find someone more closer to the 30, so it'd be roughly about 6,000 each, equaling to £12,000, so just shy of 30,000 if we land all 3 roles.
It sounds really good, mate. So with your potential 30k and my extra 12k, that could put us on for a very good month and where we need to be as a business. So well done. You obviously haven't read my book about under promise and over deliver, because you've now promised me some extra terms of business going out. And what happens if they don't go out?
I blame Bailey.
Yeah, it's Bailey's fault. All right. They are comfortable with the offer as it stands, so they'd prefer to wait until you've made a decision based on the offer that's presented. This is a VC-funded startup. I've built the engineering team to 5 from 0. So it's up to you how you want to play it now. You know, I can go back and suggest that yes, this is what you want to do. You want to suggest a higher salary, and I don't think that's a bad thing to do. Or you can go ahead and accept where we're at. I'll speak to you later. Thanks. We spoke briefly on LinkedIn chat.
Just to start, tell me what's been going
Okay, cool. So I own Place. It's a technology recruitment business. There is 7 of us now. We're in second year of trading. So we're all tech. So the different verticals in tech are always software, data, AI, and like the more complex, the more senior, the better. Please do. I'll have a look this afternoon and tomorrow, and I'll get back to you. If not tomorrow, certainly early next week. Is that all right? I'm very good today, thank you. Yeah, how are you? Yeah, he was quite open and honest, really, and he's been non-stop thinking about his decision ever since we spoke. And yeah, he's filled with a bit of regret and is very confident to say that he made the wrong decision. I had a feeling, you know. So yeah, fair play for him to call me. He said, "Is the position still open?" I said, "Look, I know the team have filled it." Well, I wasn't expecting you to say that either. I've been surprised twice this week. I thought I'd seen it all after 10 years. His expectations are very, very low. But I mean, how do you want to play this, right? You've got a complex conversation on your side. In terms of next steps, you know, I'll relay this very selectively. Who would want to speak to him and when? This is pure coincidence that it could work out as a good solution. Sounds good to me. Cool. Well, let me do my work. I'll work in the background for us as a partner. And yeah, let's speak tomorrow. Right, the time is lunchtime, and I've got Bombers again, the same place that we had on Monday. Yeah, this morning you would have seen me in an offer negotiation. We delivered that offer yesterday, and the candidate was very happy with the offer, but he feels like it's best to negotiate a higher salary by £2,000, which I think is very fair. He's a very confident person, and he's going to let them know his thoughts and feedback directly. Top tip, I think that's a great idea to do. If a candidate is willing to take leadership and take control of the negotiation, it's always a very, very good sign, and it's normally well received. After that, you would have seen me on a meeting with Team Network. Here is the Team Network website. They do a lot for the recruitment industry. They are a community specifically for recruitment, and they do a number of things, including Team Exchange, which is quite important. It's the only business that I've seen that successfully help recruiters split fees between each other, which is quite appealing. They have a number of discounts, and it's great for scaling businesses to help with learning and development. So we might be looking into that. We've been sent some information, and that's going to be reviewed this afternoon. We also have quite an interesting situation, which I am going to tell you all about after I've eaten this lunch and done the midweek reviews for the team. You're not going to want to miss this. Right, it's midweek reviews. We normally do these every single Wednesday around midday, but because of how busy yesterday was, we've moved them to Thursday. First things first, data. What are you being measured on?
Meetings, leads, and sales calls.
Every single week, yeah?
Every single week.
What's the target for sales calls per week at the minute?
50.
Meetings per week?
3.
And leads?
6.25.
And where are we at?
Sales calls were on 18. Meetings next 2. Leads 8.
So sales calls is a little bit lower. Yeah, 50 is an ambitious target. But we set that, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And you sent out 2 terms of business since then?
Yeah.
So it's obviously working. A lot of responsibility and accountability for you because it's Bailey's first ever call coaching.
Yeah.
So whatever calls he hears from you are going to be the standard. Okay, how's your week going overall?
Really well.
Yeah?
Really well. Obviously, I know that down on numbers, but 2 terms of business out, which is looking
Very
promising.
good. Yeah, well done.
Plus a catch-up call with the CEO on Friday about a BDM role, which he's been struggling to fill for over a month.
Yeah.
He's been responsive quite a bit now. I rang him the other day and he was very aware of who I was, so I'm hoping something good comes from that. I doubt it'll be on Friday, I expect it'll be next week.
You've got some very interesting targets this week, yeah? So how many candidates have we asked you to speak to so far?
72, including today.
72. And how many have you spoken to?
68 so far.
Oh, nice. Good going. Set you some targets on leads.
Yeah.
How many?
24. I've got 26.
So in terms of where you're at on targets and goals, you're there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
By the end of the day, you'll be up to speed on all of those.
Yeah, definitely.
A nice open question. How's your week going? First week in recruitment ever.
I think really good. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I need to ask definitely more questions.
You do need to ask more questions. You
Yeah.
haven't asked me much.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
The
The more the
think,
better.
Yeah.
So what I spoke to you about earlier is habit stacking. Yeah. So you've done calls, then you're doing calls and something else.
Yeah.
Then you're doing calls, leads, companies.
Yeah.
And before you know it, 5 days have gone by, and now you've got a routine of 5 things in a row.
different things,
So every time you call someone, you know to ask for a lead, you know to put them on the system, and you know to check the companies.
Yeah.
Good week so far, mate. And then we'll set you up for the presentation tomorrow. But for this afternoon, more candidate calls, yeah? So the situation that I was speaking about earlier. 6 weeks ago, we were introduced to a startup via our VC introduction, and they just raised money. 2 agencies were struggling on a very senior leadership position for 2 months. So that's when we were introduced. Within 24 hours, we found 2 people, and we worked through the process, and we had an offer for someone within 2 weeks as well. Very quick turnaround. It was almost too good to be true. Turns out it was. After some thinking, some negotiations, and some back and forth, the candidate decided to say no. So that hurt. What hurt even more is the candidate that eventually got the position through a different agency I had spoken to and I had rejected based on a few factors. Yesterday, I had a call from the candidate that said no. After 6 weeks of thinking, I could hear the regret in his voice. He had thought about it and he really regrets what he's done. But yeah, he said, look, is the position still open? No, it's not. It's been filled. I also lost out on the fee. Coincidentally, only in the last couple of days, the candidate that got the position has underperformed, I can't say too much, and they have agreed that he will exit the business. Don't often get situations like this. We're going to have to be very careful how we position it, but it could be a fee that we completely forgot about from a couple of months ago. It could turn into a month saving fee. So I'm about to call the candidate, which you're going to see now, and we'll see if he's interested in taking another interview. Good afternoon, it's Kieran. There's a strange situation of fate or coincidence here. The position may be vacant again. You know, you've called and the day before they decided to part ways. So there's a huge bit of fate here. A bit of disappointment last time, you know, with how committed you were and, you know, the interest you had, and then it turned into a no. I know from being in this game a long time, there's many people who regret decisions, but not many people call back. So I respect that. Well, I'm glad you called yesterday. Very, very strange turn of events. Yeah, cool. No worries, see you later. Hello, are you happy with that? So well played. It's a game of chess, not checkers. So I need to hear it verbally. You're happy to accept the offer? That was a quick yes. All right, well done, man. It's been teamwork from the very beginning, and that's what we're here for, man. So well done. You deserve it. And last thing, the only thing I would ever ask for in return is a nice review on my Google page and LinkedIn. If I send you those links, are you happy to do that? That's the first offer of the month done. 24-hour negotiation. We actually managed to get that person a £2,000 higher salary. Bosh. Bosh. I called you out of the blue. Have you got a few minutes? Funding is looking promising. Wouldn't say anything official. But he still wants me to keep in contact with the certain people that we shared before. Because he was equally as interested when he's seen your CV, you know, local to Cardiff, your background as well. It's probably still around 4 weeks away, but you're the only person that's in the process from me. So when it comes about, you'll be the first call. See you in a couple of weeks. Rest up. Nice one. We just had a very, very late meeting put in the diary. So that is in 6 minutes. We're going to do that. Hopefully have some positive updates and then jump straight into call coaching and Bailey's first ever call coaching. I am very good this afternoon. Yeah, very good. What about you? The more complex, the better is where I enjoy doing my work. So it's not that it's going to be impossible. It's going to be difficult, but you know, most roles at this level are. You know, there is going to be someone out there. And it's whether we can tell a story and paint a picture of what this next 6 to 12 months are going to be like with all this change. And I'm quite happy to set a deadline of next Friday, which is realistically 5 working days, to have a short list of 3 people. To get those 3 people, we're going to have to speak to 10 to 12. Speak to those 10 to 12, we're probably going to have to reach out to 20. So this is a real speedy process for us, and a lot of upfront work. We don't say, this is what it is, this is the past, this is what it is, this is the future. Sure. Why don't we put that call in for the diary now then? The time is 20 to 5 and it's BD call coaching, our favourite time of the week. And we've got a special guest.
Hello.
He's really excited for his first time on call coaching, as you can tell. But we're not that mean. We're not going to make him go first. Let's hear Kyle's.
I get about 15 emails from recruiters a week, so
I'm guessing there's no recruitment going on at the moment?
There's plenty of recruitment, but we are doing most of it using our own internal team. We've only started using recruiters again in the last 6 months.
Why have you only started using agencies now?
Purely because of the volume of candidates. My team is growing. We've had a number of candidates from that have come through to final stages, but not quite got there at the end.
What wasn't right about these candidates?
So some of them, it comes down to final collaboration, their response to the final technical challenge we set them.
Are you happy for me just to ask a little bit of a direct question? With the agencies, obviously, you mentioned there'd been a few there who hadn't made the cut. Has that been sort of like a repeat pattern?
I'm not disappointed at the moment with the service that I'm getting from them.
Let's just say hypothetically that these agencies keep falling slightly short. Do you think you'd be open to having a conversation?
Yeah, but that's not on my mind at the moment. We'll be starting new recruitment rounds again probably in October.
So you mentioned October?
Yeah, if you want to give me a call then, we can see what the situation is.
So we'll start with the bad. I didn't like how I entered the call. Like a lot of filler words. Pace was pretty good. Active listening was pretty good.
I think the active listening was very good. I think you're being very persistent, even though he kept giving you objections.
So my feedback, I've done well to keep him on the phone. Didn't start the best, but he got better. The not so good stuff, one word answers. So who are you? Kyle Roberts. Oh, who do you work for? Place. And you're persistent. Mentioned this before, a little bit direct.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a little bit of a direct question?
Either is or isn't.
It's definitely a lead, as in like a follow-up. Sounds like a tough one, but I think that's a good call.
Bailey calling from Place. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. Looking to move on now. Find another role. That's pretty much it. Do you need any more details on that?
No, it's fine. No, it's just, what is your tech stack?
Yeah, I mainly use Python.
Yeah, solely Python.
Froze, he's done the mannequin.
Going to?
That'd be nice, but I'm
He's frozen
quite
solid.
flexible to pretty much any language.
Our first ever cry in call coaching.
I don't really mind which one I go into next.
Yeah, no preference really.
Nah.
If I connect with you on LinkedIn, drop you an email. You have all my connections, and then anything as a company, if we post or myself post in regards to vacancies, it'll be coming in straight up on your feed. And then you can get in contact, and I'll be in contact with you definitely via email and your phone number if that's okay, just so we can definitely stay in touch and hopefully be in touch with a vacancy in the future. Does that sound okay with you?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Whoever's call it is gets to go first on feedback every time, so.
Well, in regards to bad, I don't think I really put many good stuff, but that's just being hypercritical. I think the bad stuff, I was given too many options. I panicked, if I'm a bit honest, and then kept saying, if you don't mind, asking him a question, then asking him if he didn't mind the question.
You didn't have one good part of that call?
I don't think so. I probably did. I think I'm just being self-critical.
You are. It's good to be self-critical, but it's also good to be aware of what's good as well. Otherwise you can't replicate it, yeah?
He definitely did not want to be on the call. And I like the fact that you were persistent with the lead pulling, which is obviously good. And the way you did it is the way I usually do it. So it's ask them a couple of questions, butter them up, make them feel good, then go into the lead pulling. Another good thing that I think will be beneficial for you to implement is like probing questions.
Okay, good feedback from both of you. It would have been nice to hear how you intro yourself. I liked a good question on asking about the boss, if he's asked for promotion. I know it's in our sheet, but you still followed it, yeah, and it sounded good. And then it flowed in structure. I know you're using the sheet still, but it sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's going in a direction. The not so good things, no more details. So
The first question.
the first question, he said, what's going on in your world? Yeah, so I'm just looking for a new job. Do you need any more details? No. Nothing actually, no. And the last thing, I think I've heard it a bit more, it's just curiosity. Yeah. So don't be afraid to ask questions on questions. How was it listening back?
Awful.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Could see the tears. Right, that was Bailey's first ever call coaching session, Thursday afternoon. We'll see you on Friday morning. It's Friday, 6:55, and I've come into the office very early today because today we've got some very special news. That special news is Kyle has brought on his first 360 client. Kyle won't mind me sharing this because we spoke openly about it, but he's had a very tough 6 months. Initially, he joined the recruitment industry in the boom throughout COVID, and he worked in a completely different industry, and he never really had to bring in new business for the first couple of years, which set some bad habits, and these have stuck with him for the last 4 or 5 years. So his 4 or 5 years in recruitment were kind of warped. His perception of winning new business was completely different. So he's come over from freight forwarding and logistics to tech, and the sell is far more complex and far more professional, if you like. So luckily, us as a business, we've had lots of my client portfolio hiring, and it's too much for me to do. So he is only slightly behind target, but he's been consistently billing for 6 months now. He's billed something every single month. But they're all my portfolio. And I know he's been wanting to work hard at bringing his own business. And today he has. He's had some terms of business signed, which he's completely found the lead himself, negotiated, attended the meetings. I haven't even spoke to the client. So I couldn't be more proud. And honestly, I'm really, really happy for him. He sent out 7 terms of business since he's been here. He's learned a lot of lessons about killer closing, better negotiating, better next steps at the end of the call as well. But I think today is the turning point where he realizes, yeah, I've done it. I can do it again. And he's got another terms of business out, which could be returned today. And he's also got another meeting as well. So what's the classic saying? You wait all day for a bus and then 2 come at once. It could be that scenario. But more importantly, let's see how Kyle feels.
So what Kieran is referring about is today is the day that I signed my first client for place. I spoke back to this client in March. There's been multiple touch points. He reached out to me this week around 2 vacancies that he was struggling with. I managed to book a meeting very last minute, handled the whole negotiation, got the terms out to him, and today is the day that he has signed the terms, and we are beginning to work those vacancies for him today. More exciting news potentially coming though before this Friday is done. There's 2 more clients that we've got terms of business out to and another 2 vacancies. So coming off of the back end of last month, we could finish or start this month very, very well.
Yeah, well done, lad. You've worked very, very hard to that, so you should be proud. One more question. Was it more difficult to bring on your first client in a new industry than you thought it would be?
It was definitely a lot more challenging than I anticipated. Having prior recruitment experience, I felt like it would have gone a lot quicker, but the conversations are just so different from the ones I was used to having. So it took a little bit of tweaking, but we finally got there.
It's absolutely good news. So I guess first and foremost, just well done. Yeah, well done. It's been a really competitive process to receive this, regardless of what happens next. That's a big testament to you and what you've done, because they've got very high standards. What's your first reaction to seeing that come through? That's a good question, and I'm not sure, so I'll find out for you. Yeah, I'll give them a call. So that's the one. You mentioned about the salary, which we spoke about before, but I'm happy to ask. Right? I'm here to try and get the best result for you and them. Okay, all right, sounds good. Well done. First and foremost, there's been there's been many people who haven't got this far, so you should feel proud about that. Thanks, see ya. That was a very unexpected call, and we've just received a second offer this week. Earlier in the week, you would have heard me deliver an offer to someone, and there was a slight negotiation, and that person has accepted. At 9:44, we had an email saying they're going to make the offer. At 9:49, they delivered the offer. 1 job offer has turned into 2. That person has a final stage on Monday. It's a little bit of a higher salary as well, so I'm unsure if they will 100% accept, but we've got to give them the weekend to think it through. It's a good sign that the 3 people we submitted in this process, 2 made it to second stage, 2 made it to final stage, and 2 got an offer, even though there's only 1 position. So we're very happy with that. Tell me everything that you want to be doing or what's important to you. I'll kind of see if we're on the same page. And you're looking for something to start as soon as possible, because I know you said you're out of work at the minute, you've been looking, so is this like an immediate thing for you? If you could send me a CV, we've got about a week to make a shortlist. You're the first person I've spoken to. But I definitely think there's potential. Yeah, by next Friday, we want just 2 or 3 people, and I think there's potential for you to be one of those. Quite obviously, they want to interview multiple people over such a senior position. So the time is 2 p.m. and Bailey is doing his end of week presentation. We haven't got much content this afternoon because me and Kyle in the background over there have pulled some new vacancies this week. So we've been scrolling LinkedIn trying to find the right people. The big man's standing up. He's going to be talking through the data points and what he has achieved this week. He's also going to tell us what a good candidate looks like, who our ICP is, and what he's learned about software programming languages and the different verticals in tech. He's looking really excited over there. We'll hand over to you.
Right, so we start off with the data. So the calls, I was targeted 97. I actually made, obviously it's not end of play Friday yet, but so far it's 102. Quite happy with the calls, to be honest. A lot of them were consultative, long conversations with the candidates. The leads, so not zooming in, just overall leads, which I'm collecting from the calls, I was targeted 36. Once again, it's not end of play, I'm currently at 34. And then zooming into the ideal customer profiles, On them leads, I was targeted 15. And after a good morning this morning of gaining them over the phone, I'm currently on 19. And then customers on the system, I was targeted 10. I'm on 5. Good candidate. We've got 7 points. So we're looking at a tech stack. So what sort of technologies are they using? We're very much looking for the modern systems and softwares. And then we go on to their companies. So what companies have they worked for? And then as well as that, you want to look at what they've built. So what projects they've worked on. So I'm going to put that down as projects. The last point I'm going to put here is tenure.
I've got a question. You said if they build any projects from the ground up, what's it called when they build a project starting from nothing?
My mind has gone blank, but it starts with green.
And it ends in field.
Greenfields.
Well done.
And then if they haven't, it's brownfields.
Nice.
And then these are all sort of tech experience sides of a good candidate. And then this next side is very much more personable, what you could understand from meeting them, being on the phone. So it's called soft skills. Communication. The next one is learning. And then last but not least on this side is problem solving. Do they enjoy problem solving? Is it something they are interested in? So there is 3 main ICPs for us. So you've got fintech, finance technologies, and then you've got SaaS, software as a service, and then you've got AI, which is obviously the big one at the moment, artificial intelligence.
Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one because we haven't reviewed this all week. Bailey is going to tell me and Kyle and everybody watching this video what he understands about software programming languages and where they're used in the tech stack.
So software programming languages, we go straight into it with front end is what the customer sees. So if you're on a tab and you click onto a next tab, as in the same URL, same website, that's what the customer sees. That's all the front end software. So back end obviously is the opposite. It's what goes in the back, so what you don't see. So starting off with Java, and I've also got Python. So Python is used to script, and the capabilities within it are frequently used to automate repetitive tasks instead of you manually doing them over and over. And then I've got C#. That uses a wide range of software, including desktop applications, web applications, and even game development. That's what it helps build. And then I've got PHP.
Any idea on the cloud providers that developers work with?
AWS. That's the only one I know.
What does it stand for?
I have a guess, but I don't think it's correct. Amazon Warehouse Services.
It's very close. Amazon Web Services. I think it was a good presentation. So well done. You covered all the points. You hit your data points for this week as well. So very well done on that. And you have relayed most of the information that I've given to you as well. So well done.
Thank you.
Right, that's the end of Bailey's presentation. Please, he really wants some feedback in the comments. He's just asked me off camera. So let us know in the comments what you think. He did well and what he didn't do so well. And please go easy on him, it's his first week. That's it. That's the end of week 6 and the end of Bailey's first week in recruitment. I'm sure we can all agree no one will forget their first week in a new job, but no one will especially forget their first week in recruitment. So we went for quantity over quality for Friday's content, so you won't see much, but you will see a lot of Bailey's presentation. So there's only one way to assess how much information he has retained, and that is to do a presentation on camera. Fair play to him for being so willing to do it. Only week 1, and you'll see by the presentation he was quite engaged. Bailey's done very well this week. I've told him to his face, and he might see this video. He should see this video, so well done, Bailey. Me and Kyle have been very impressed with your performance this week. You've retained a lot of information as well, and you're asking all the right questions. So I couldn't be more happy. Outside of that, we've had our best week in probably the last 4 or 5 weeks. This week, Kyle's onboarded his first ever client. So happy for him. I've onboarded 4 new vacancies. Kyle sent out an extra 2 terms of business, and Bailey's overachieved on every KPI that we've given him. So as far as weeks go, I think this is a very good week. I've got a 50-mile run tomorrow, so I'm running from Ogmore to Bridgend. For 50 miles, it starts at 7 a.m. and finishes at 5 p.m. It's going to be about 9 hours of running. So I feel satisfied this week. I will be honest, I've onboarded someone new. It's the biggest the business has ever been. We're at 7 people. You won't often hear me say this, and I don't often hear other people say it, but I'm a happy man this week. I feel like we've accomplished a lot. We've showed a lot of determination, resilience, and I'm going to go and enjoy myself. I cannot believe I'm saying this. I'm going to go enjoy myself by doing a 50-mile run tomorrow. Let's see if I say that on Monday. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We've had loads of good feedback on this. So if you like any of the content and you want to see it again, let us know. And if not, I'll see you next week for week 7.